Okay, guys, let's try this again. I do apologize. I am so sorry. This never happened before. I was trying to turn on this light right here, but I guess I got so much stuff plugged up. And this is a brand new computer because my everyday computer, the one I go live on and stuff, it messed up on me. So I had to rush out and grab another computer. So this is a new computer. I don't even have my stuff on here, my programs. I don't have none of this stuff on here. Like I just do this to get my movies and go live and stuff. So I tried to plug up this light. I did it one time before, but I don't know. Every time I turn on this light, it's triggering something off. So I'm just not going to even mess with it. So I think I'm bright enough where you guys can see me. So we're going to rewind this and start this thing all over again. So for those of you that came on the other stream, I do apologize. Had a little technical difficulties. First stream of 2026, a little blooper there, a little hiccup, but we got it together, guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys know when you get brand new stuff, you know what I'm saying? They kind of, you know what I'm saying? You got to work the kinks out. So this is a brand new computer, you know what I'm saying? And I've only went live on it a couple of times earlier today. So it's starting to mess up. So but we're here now, and so we start this all over again. But like I said, like I'm not even gonna let y'all wait. I'm just gonna say my wife winded up getting a new dog. Okay, she wound up getting a brand new dog. She wound up getting a Labradoodle, a full-blooded Labradoodle for free of charge. What happened was that this guy, actually the guy that used to date my sister, he had the dog. He got the dog from somebody, and I guess they didn't want it after long or whatever. Beautiful dog, and so he tried to call me on Messenger, but I didn't answer. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what he was trying to do. So my mother, he got in touch with my mother, and my mother winded up getting a dog. Okay, but like I said before, my mother, she's been having bad luck with dogs. Like I say, she's my mom. She's older. You know, she can't take care of no big dog like that because Labradoodles get big. I mean, he's small now, but he's going to get big over some time. Then plus he needed to be groomed and stuff. So my wife, she's going to get him groomed and go get his shots because we don't know what type of shots he had or whatever. So my wife, hey, what's up, Blamo? So Happy New Year's, my brother. So my wife, she's going to go get his getting groomed the day after New Year. So on Friday, whatever the day after New Year's is, she's going to make an appointment to see if she can get him groomed the same day because he needs to be groomed back. But he's a beautiful dog. I mean, his name is Cash. His name is Cash, okay? And he's a beautiful dog. Because we talked about this like earlier last year in 2025. We talked about this because she wanted a new dog because the two dogs we got is Stormy and Baby. And so we got them, we're actually Baby is a dachshund, a full-blooded dachshund. My wife went online and found her in Detroit. So we went down there. She paid the money and got Stormy. I mean, got Baby. And then Stormy was the dog that we got from the kennel. And she was such a sweet dog. But she was battling heartworm at the time. So my wife wanted to bring her home. But they didn't want us to do it at first. My wife said, well, I can bring her home and I can just bring her back to get her heartworm procedures done. So that's what happened. That's what happened because my wife didn't want to leave her there because every time my wife would leave, Stormy would get sad. So she just made sure Stormy got back and forth there to go through her heartworm stuff. So now Stormy is cured now and she's doing good. So Stormy was the dog that they used to test the other dog's temperament. Okay, so Stormy, that's how we wound up with Stormy. But the reason why we wound up with them was because the place that we were at first, they told us that's where I was getting at before I had problems. They told us that we couldn't have big dogs. So we had to unfortunately surrender our dogs. And that was the hardest thing we had to do. I mean, my wife, she cried like a baby. I mean, she cried like a baby and stuff. So when we get to this place, we see that all these other people had dogs. Now, I'm no hater. I'm not hating or nothing, but I'm like this. If I had to surrender my dogs, then anybody else would have no dogs either. So I went and I told them, I said, listen, I'm gonna sue y'all if y'all don't make nothing happen. Not that I didn't want nobody else to have their dogs, but y'all told us that we could not have our dogs here. And my wife, we had to surrender our dogs. But then we get here and we see all these people in this subdivision with big dogs. So something's going to have to happen because we can't go back and get our dogs. So, long story short, they winded up sending the ladder out to the people, telling them they couldn't have the dogs. And I didn't care if they knew that I did it, but I didn't do it. But they had to do something to kind of soften the blow. So that's how we winded up with Stormy and Baby, because the first dogs we had was named Clay and Yoshi. Yoshi was a Great Dane, and Clay was a boxer. Get it? Cassius Clay, boxer Clay, uh, Muhammad Ali. So the dog. So our boxer name was Clay, and our Great Dane, a full-blooded Great Dane. His name was Yoshi. Beautiful Great Dane, big beautiful dog. And my wife had him trained and stuff. So that's how we. So unfortunately, we had to surrender our dogs. So fast forward. So we wound up with Stormy and Baby. So that's how we wound up with them. So now we talked about, because my wife wanted another dog because she said, Stormy and Baby's getting up in age and she wanted another younger dog and stuff like that. So we was going to be looking for adopting another dog and stuff. So as luck would have it, the guy who used to date my sister, he tried to call me on Messenger tonight, but I didn't answer because I was on the phone and stuff. I didn't know what he was talking about. So anyway, he got in touch with my mother, and my mother called me and told me that she got a dog, and he went over there. So I said that makes sense. He was trying to get in touch with me to see if we wanted the dog, but I didn't answer because I was on the phone. So my mother wanted up with the dog. Well, my mother, she has bad luck with dogs and stuff. So I'm trying to get her like a kitten or something because she wants a pet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt bad going over there getting the dog. So she wanted to keep the dog a couple of days. I said, no, Mom, we got to come get the dog so we can get him used to our house and stuff. You know what I'm saying? She wants a pet, but my mama, she has bad luck with animals. You know what I'm saying? Not bad luck to where she misuses them or abuses them or nothing, but for some reason, every time she get a dog or something, we'll put it like this: we gave her a dog, a poodle named Teddy. He unfortunately got killed by a dog next door to my sister. My mama let him out, and then the dog next door killed little Teddy. So sad, so sad. And then the other dog she had, Trixie, she had cancer. Okay, so this is not her fault, but you see the trend here. And then she just had a cat the other day. Matter of fact, I think this cat, she got him. She was out. She was driving, and she got home, and the cat was just by her. So I guess the cat chose her to be, the you know what I'm saying, to be her, caregiver, so whatever you want to call it. So the cat followed my mom into the house and stuff. My mom said, "Where does cat come from?" So as soon as my mom pulled up into her apartment, the cat was there. So that's how she wanted it with that cat. So quite naturally, she kept the cat. She was taking care of the cat. She loved the cat, but then the cat wound up dying. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what happened. Just one day, my mom woke up, the cat was dead. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't her fault. Wasn't nothing she did wrong. She fed it. She took care of it and everything. But it could have been something wrong with the cat because it was a stray cat. But my mother never went and took it and got it looked at and stuff. So the cat could have had something going on that she didn't know. So anyway, she winded up getting this dog tonight, and then she called me and told me about it. My wife was already looking for another dog, so my wife was like, "Listen, I'm gonna come get that dog because I want that dog." And the dog is a Labradoodle, okay? One of them Labradoodles. They're expensive. Labradoodle, a full-blooded Labradoodle. I looked at it, looked it up. They just like the Labradoodle dog and stuff. Like I said, beautiful dog. So my wife wound up getting a dog free of charge, a Labradoodle, and she's going to, as soon as the new year, the holiday is over, she's going to go get it spaded, going to see about his shots, get him groomed up and stuff. He's a beautiful dog. I mean, beautiful dog. So we're working on now getting him acclimated with our dogs here. So now we have 3 dogs now. So that's the whole point I'm trying to say. We got 3 dogs now. His name is Cash, like Cash Money. So his name is Cash. He's a very beautiful dog. You know, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, you know, of course, my wife was calling them, talking about it. So she sent them a picture. So they want the dog. My wife said, "Yeah, I ain't finna get my dog. I just got my dog." So she's excited. She's in there with them now, working with him and stuff. So I just feel like that was just a blessing because she wanted another dog, and here we are with the dog. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to give my mother a kitten because I told my mother, because my mother wants a pet. That's my mother wants a pet. You know, she's older. You know, we're all grown and stuff. She's not married. I mean, I'll say her, my little niece and nephew is over there with her for the holidays and stuff, you know. So she gets lonely and stuff, but she wants a little pet to keep her company and stuff. So I told her that me and Son might get her a little kitten, you know, get her a kitten. We're going to try to go up to maybe like one of these places and find her a kitten and stuff where not a full-blooded cat, not a full-blooded cat. We want to get her a kitten so that way she can kind of like nurture it and raise it up as her own. You know what I'm saying? So that way we know that there's nothing wrong with that cat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do. Try to get her a kitten because she really wants a cat. You know what I'm saying? So that way that the kitten is low maintenance. She ain't got to take it outside. She ain't got to do this, but she do got to take it to the vet every now and then, but she can afford that. So that's what we're going to do. So the moral of the story is, so my wife wind up getting another dog. That's what she had been wanting, saying because we were going to go try to adopt us another dog, but we don't have to now because she got her another dog. So everything worked out. So she's happy. I'm happy. So this is how the new year is going to start. Then I guess we're going to have a good new year because she whenever got the dog, she's up there with the dog now. I mean, she's up there with them. He's getting used to the house. Like I say, my other dogs is kind of they not really taking to him right now because he's a boy dog. They 2 girl dogs and he's a boy dog, so not really taking to him like that. They kind of like snapped at him a little bit, but we kind of got that under control a little bit. So we got him in a cage to where they can walk up to the cage and they can sniff him and get used to it and stuff. And then he's kind of on the edge because he's been to 2 households in 24 hours. So once he gets here and gets used to the environment, get used to the dogs, our other dogs, I think he'll be just fine. I mean, he's cute as a button. I mean, I like him. He's cute. You know what I'm saying and stuff. My wife is happy that she got her a new dog, and he just don't know how much of a blessing he is that he's going to be taken care of real good. Because my wife is going to take care of him. She's going to spoil him like she did Stormy and Baby. She's going to spoil him and treat him good and be happy with them and stuff. So I'm just so glad that my wife was able to get her a new dog and she's happy. She's been blessed. My wife, she works a little part-time job now that don't really require much, so she's got more hours on that, and hopefully I can get me another job. I got a job. I want to work 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that comes. So if this is how the new year is going to start, I think we're off to the right direction. So I want to thank everybody who's coming in. Happy New Year's to everybody. So I put the link out, and I do apologize for the technical difficulties that I had. This is a new computer. I'm going to leave this light alone. So I'm going to test this light out off stream so that way I can see what the problem was. So, yeah. So, guys, I ain't going to be before you long. I'll probably be on here for about 30 minutes or an hour. We got 4 people watching. I appreciate everybody that came over on the last stream. And I do apologize for the technical difficulties, guys. But you guys know how it is when you get new equipment and stuff like that. Because this computer here was a spur of the moment computer. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out and grab it. It was spur of the moment. Very, very spur of the moment, guys. So I had to do that. And sometimes when you're on live, when you do live streams, stuff happens. Like, stuff just happens that's beyond your control. So I do say that I'm sorry for that, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. I'll make sure that everything is is pretty much set up before I push that go live button. But I've never had that problem before, so that's why I was assuming that that light will be okay. But I do know now that I'm gonna make sure that my light is on. I'm gonna make sure that everything is on before I do a live, so that way I don't run into that problem again. But I do ask when you come in, smack that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Happy New Year's. Hope everybody had a good New Year's night. I pray that you guys were safe. A lot of us didn't go out tonight, as you can see. The only thing that we did was I got up earlier, took my trash out and stuff because it was so cold here. It's cold here in Michigan, guys. It is freezing here in Michigan. Okay, it snowed earlier, and if you guys go back and watch my little short that I put up, you see how the snow is coming down all over the ground, all over my truck. It was just a mess tonight. It was freezing cold, so I did that, and I stayed in all the day. The only time we just went out was when me and son went and got cash. You know, so we went to my mom's house and got cash. That was the only thing that we did. Well, the other thing that I did, my wife had to go to work earlier today. It was at a little part-time job or whatever, a little couple-hour job. She had to go to that. But I had to, you know what I'm saying, I went with her to go get cash tonight. So that's all we did tonight was go do that. It was cold. You know what I'm saying? It was cold, you know. Then he got out the truck because I scared him because he has a cage, so like I was trying to push the cage into the back of the truck, you know, like to put the door down. He got scared and jumped out the truck and went to running. So me and my wife, we trying to chase him and stuff and get him back. Now, mind you, it's cold out there and stuff, so we had to go and get him. So finally, we got him back in and brought him on here. You know what I'm saying? He's a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's a new dog, you know, new home, new people, you know what I'm saying, and everything. But I think he's going to be okay, you know, so I think he's going to be okay. So shout out to Cash, you know what I'm saying? You know, my wife, she's happy about it. So yep. So I just hope that everybody had a very, very, very happy New Year's. And I hope that you guys are going to continue to make great decisions and be prosperous and get everything that you deserve this year and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to stream and have a good time and all that good stuff. So guys, I ask that you, when you come in, smack that thumbs up. I'm just rambling on. If anybody have any questions, you can put them in the chat. You know what I'm saying, on anything like that. I'm still drinking, having a good time. You know, I stayed home tonight, guys. Normally I would be out somewhere, but listen, it's too cold, too snowy. You know, me and my wife, we ain't got no money like that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, it's a lot safer and cheaper to stay home. You know what I'm saying? And we watched the ball dropped. You know, we gave each other a hug and we just went on about our business. It came on back. You know what I'm saying, and stuff. So just see what this year brings, guys. You know what I'm saying? We can't predict the future, but we hope that we have a good year this year. You know what I'm saying? Every year that we live should be a lot better than the one that we had before. So I'm not saying that 2025 was a bad year for everybody, but we always want the following year to be better or even better than the one that we had before. Some people might think 2025 was a good year, but now 2026 should be even a better year. So that's how we do that, because everybody didn't have a bad year. You know, everybody didn't have a bad year. Everybody said, well, 2025 was good to me. So we just hope that 2026 be even better. Then if we live to see 2027, we hope that gets better. You know, speaking of 2027 and all this New Year's and stuff, I was on stream. Now, you know, guys, I did a stream earlier today with my bros and them. You know, Sammy was on there, Dean, Paper Plate, Donald, Skulls, all my friends was on there, all my brothers was on there. We was all talking about these computer prices and these RAM prices and stuff like that. Well, I just heard that the NVIDIA RTX 5090, the flagship card, so the best card that money can buy right now at this moment from NVIDIA has went up to $5,000. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's going on with the RAM prices and stuff. And then also Sony and Microsoft is considering maybe delaying their next consoles because of RAM prices and stuff. So this RAM has really done really trickled down and affected a lot of stuff. Because there was a time to where that we didn't have to worry about RAM. RAM was so cheap. The graphics cards were what we were trying to get. Like during COVID, we couldn't find any graphics cards and stuff with all the crypto mining and stuff. Just buying up all the graphics cards. Well, now graphics cards are more in abundance, like the 5070. Because my buddy was just at Microsoft. He said, Ken, man, there's so many 5070s here, 5060s, 5070s, 5080s and stuff that's here. It's ridiculous. Well, that's because in most cases people aren't building PCs anymore and stuff like that. And from what I heard, that Micro Center just put the RAM back into their bundle, because you know what I'm saying, you can go to Micro Center and get a bundle like RAM, the motherboard and other stuff for cheaper than you would have to buy individual pieces. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that they just recently put the RAM back into the bundle. So I'm saying, so that just goes to show you how this is affecting PC gaming, is affecting console gaming. Because I'm saying, because at the end of the day, a lot of these consoles, a lot of these PCs use that AI stuff and all that kind of stuff. But because of the RAM is so high, it's because of the fact that a lot of these companies, these AI companies, are buying all this RAM up, and we don't know how long this is going to be. You see what I'm saying? They're buying all this RAM up, and they're bagged up until at least 2029. They're bagged up. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So we don't know how long we're going to be in this type of situation. So I hope you all. So right now, if you are looking for a PC or in the looks of getting a PC, like we said earlier stream, it's probably be in your best interest to maybe purchase a pre-built. You know what I'm saying? Do your research on your pre-built. I can't tell you which one to buy because I don't know how much money you have and I don't know what you're looking for as far as performance. But all I can present to you is that, listen, you know what I'm saying? Unless you have the money. Now, see, like I always say before, I'm not talking to the people who have the money that can go in and build a PC. If you have the money and everything, go for it. But if you don't really have the money, if you're like me that just work a regular job and got bills and got stuff to pay and stuff, that can't afford to just go out and just do all this stuff, then I can save up. Or even if you do have the money, you know, so you want to be frugal and smart with it, because not always about not having the money. Like Simi said today, so we have the money to get it, but do we want to get it? You know, does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Does building a PC right now with these RAM prices, does that make sense? And if you say yes, then by all means build it. If you say no, then no. But there are options out there where you can get like a pre-built, like maybe take like maybe $2,000 or $2,500, no more than $3,000. Do your research, buy you a PC. You know what I'm saying? Buy with upgradable stuff, and then you ain't got to worry about the RAM, the graphics card, the CPU, the power supply, none of that stuff, because you're buying all of that stuff. You ain't got to worry about all these individual parts and stuff. So that's another way. I'm saying another route you can go. Or some of you still may have a build that you've had before, and you might want to upgrade the graphics card. Well, there are cheaper options of graphics cards. Well, you know the 5090 is going up to, you know what I'm saying, most people aren't going to get a 5090. You know what I'm saying? So that one shouldn't even be something we should worry about going up to 5,000, because most people can't even afford that card anyway, including myself. Or if you could afford it, why do you need it if you're not running other stuff other than gaming? You see my point? So yeah, so you might want to consider a pre-built or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But PC gaming, I'm saying, you guys be saying that every time Ken come on, he's talking about PC, PC, PC. Because listen, Guys, we want to save money. When they say, well, how are we saving money if we got to buy a $2,000 PC? Okay, listen, the buy-in is expensive. If you want to future-proof your PC, you know what I'm saying, if you want to buy a nice little rig that's going to get you a lot of years out of it, there's going to be a cost there. But as time goes on, that cost is going to pay for itself. You know what I'm saying? It's going to pay for itself. You're going to be like, dang, you know, so I'm getting all these games. Because listen, games add up, guys. Games add up. I don't care if you're on console, PC, or whatever. Games add up. But one of the fortunate things about PC though is that yeah, it's all digital stuff. So and that's fine. Games, you know what I'm saying, you can get games for cheap. Cheap because Steam is always having Steam sales, getting games for cheap. AAA games for cheap. And you can even like go on Green Man Gaming or CD Keys, or you guys can do it the other way if you catch my drift. Like what me and Dean talked about earlier, where you can go to some of these websites that offer these games for free for free. You know what I'm saying? So, but know how to download them, know how to get them, and stuff like that. Make sure you download them right, do your research and stuff. And then also you can not only get the games, I'm saying you can also go in there and set up your emulation and like I say, Launchbox, or if you want to just set up individual, I'm saying like emulators and stuff, you can do that. And that's and if you're a fan of retro gaming, that's going to save you tons of money because retro gaming is just as expensive, if not more expensive, than actual gaming. See what I'm saying? Because like right now, if I started trying to have a game room with all these consoles and stuff, my wife would kill me. So emulate. Emulate is just as good as original content. In some cases, it's even better because I'm gonna tell you like this, and somebody might beat me up in the comments or whatever, but I'm gonna say it like this: PlayStation One needs to be emulated because those games back then we were playing like that because that was the best we had. But some of those games on the PS1 look so distorted and everything, like Crash Bandicoot and all that, you know, they're so distorted. But when you run it through an emulator and upscaling and stuff, but now here's the thing. Some people like that retro look. So that's what makes it retro, because some people like that. So if you are a person who likes to play games like that on the original, the way it looks like that, by all means, that's fine. But with DuckStation, you can upscale the PS1 games and make them look like modern games that you play today. So that's one of the better things about emulation. You can upscale some of these games and stuff, you know, make them look real good. So yeah, and then also not only that, it's saving you money in the long run. You know what I'm saying? When you emulate games, and it's like having the same console, but it's just not giving. Okay, so this is debatable. Like some people say, well, you're not really playing unless you're playing on real hardware and getting that feel. Okay, that can be a true statement, but I think that now this is my point, and I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. My point is this: if I'm playing on a PC or if I choose to play on the console, that's a preference. I'm saying that's a preference. It's not saying that, oh, if you're playing not playing on original hardware, you're missing out. I don't think so because that's the same game and stuff. It's just that which one you prefer, and either one you prefer isn't wrong. Some people, like my friend VF, he has all the consoles. He'll tell you in a minute that he prefers original hardware, and I do too. But emulation isn't bad either because if you see some of these games that are expensive and some of these games you can't play, emulation gets the job done. See what I'm saying? Because everybody's not going to go out and buy all these consoles, buy these games. Like he said, most people that have all these consoles had them as a kid or had them years ago. Now, I've had consoles years ago, but I never held on to them. I ain't see the value of holding on to them. I wish I did now, but anyway, that's water under the bridge. So now that you don't have the consoles, emulate. And I don't have the room in here to start doing all that stuff. So emulate, because you have the same games, the same game that the person is playing on a console, you're playing on a PC. Got the same effects. So when y'all do compare notes, yeah, this game did this game did that. So there's no right or wrong way to game, guys. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to play on Android. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So hey, listen. As long as you find yourself gaming and having a good time, as long as you find yourself streaming and having a good time, I have no problem with it. It's not about a console war, PC versus console versus this, emulation versus that, this versus that. No, listen. Gaming is going into a new direction, just like streaming is going to a new direction. And however you find yourself getting your content and enjoying yourself, there's no right or wrong way. And don't let nobody tell you that, oh, you're not doing it the right way if you do it this way. All we're going to say is, listen, are you happy with it? You happy with doing it that way? Fine. Just be careful. But all I'm going to say is that when you're downloading stuff or if you're getting stuff off the internet, be extremely careful of what you're getting and know what to do and how to get it. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. That's the only point I want to make. But how you get it is your business. But just know when you get it, just understand, protect yourself when you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to protect yourself, you can reach out to a lot of us. We be on streams, we be in Telegram. Some of you got my personal number. You guys can give me a call, and I'm sure that Super Dale, like if you have a consultation, he has an email where you can reach out to him if you want a consultation, try to get, so how to make yourself successful with your content and stuff like that. He's going to charge you for that, but that's only right, because once he gives you the tools that you need, you off and running. You won't need him no more. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So take advantage of these opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all about taking control of what you play, or taking control of what you watch. You know what I'm saying? So with that, guys, like I think it threw me off was when my little technical difficulties happened, and maybe a lot of people may be drunk by now. Some people may have went to church, they came back home and went to sleep and stuff. I just wanted to do a recap of 2025. Bye 2025. We're 2026, and nothing but greatness coming, nothing but prosperity coming, and everything. You know what I'm saying? I told my wife, I said, listen, let that pass, baby. Do not complain about nothing that went on last year. We focus and moving on. You know what I'm saying? We got a roof over our head. We got food. We got all this stuff. Do we have some time? We have extra? No, we don't. But the bigger picture is that we have things. We have stuff. There's people that's out there homeless and stuff like that. We have to look at stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We can't be ungrateful with what God has blessed us with, because God has blessed us truly. You know what I'm saying? The extra will come. You know what I'm saying? We have extra to do what we want to do, but my wife said that she, you know what I'm saying, she wants to do extra to do. But look, baby, sometimes we can't even do that even when we do have the extra. You know what I'm saying? We just have to you know what I'm saying, all our bills are being paid. All of our bills are paid. There's nothing been cut off and stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that you look at. You look at stuff like that we are in a position to be able to pay our bills. Now, what would be a sad thing is that we was wondering how we was going to pay our bills or rent or mortgage and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But we do have money coming in that we can pay our bills and stuff. Do we have extra all the time? No. But the bigger picture is that we are able to pay our bills and do what we need to do and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's the positive in it. But listen, I just want to thank you all for listening. And those of you that watched the recap, I really appreciate you. Oh, I see why everybody's not coming on. It's 2:25 in the morning. That's why. Listen, maybe I'm drunk, but a buzz. And look, I knew it was after 12 o'clock, but I didn't realize it was this late. But you say, Ken, why wouldn't you think it's this late? Because New Year's came in at 12 o'clock. So why wouldn't you think it would be later? So like I just happened to look at the clock. I'm like, oh shoot, it's almost 3. It's 2:25. It's 2:30. So that explains why a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave now. I thank you all, and I do apologize for the technical difficulties I had. But sometimes that's the sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, guys. But I thank you guys for supporting me, and those of you that watched the replay, I want to thank you from my family to yours. Happy holidays, Merry belated Christmas, Merry belated Thanksgiving. I love you all. Happy New Year's, and I hope that you get everything that you pray for. I hope that you get everything that your heart's desire. And I decree that everybody that's listening will be blessed and have whatever they need for 2026. 2026 will be a good year for all of us, prosperity wise, health wise, and everything. So I decree that in the name of Jesus. So, guys, I love you all, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.